Oracle. What should they call her? What should they call her? Oracle. Hey, gang. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We had a longer weekend. There's a lot going on. We're going to get into it. I'm going to actually start with some general energy for the collective, and then we're going to get into each of the elements. Okay? So, what spirit wants me to start with? Lighting a candle. Let's do that first. Let's light this candle. Oh, they might not could hear me. Hold on, guys. What's going on with the mic? There we go. Hey, everybody. Okay, the mic wasn't working at first. All right, let's get it cracking. Let's get the What's Good Project execute. We're going to get a star seed. Hey, everybody coming in. Hey, gang. We're going to start with a star seed. We're going to see what Spirit got to say for the collective. This is going to serve for the balance of June. I mean, the balance of May. Okay? Then I will come on and I will do a June video. All right? We're going to be moving pretty quick today because I got some shit going on this afternoon. So we're going to get cracking without hesitation. Spirit, can you show me, please, what it is that the collective needs to know? For the balance of May, Spirit. Saturn has taken root in Aries. Okay? Jupiter is at the end of Gemini. Mercury's in Gemini. Breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Spirit said, you don't direct spirit. So here's the thing. What's good, Brianna? A lot of us been fighting for our autonomy. May feel like you're fighting for your life, fighting to be different, fighting to be in your free will. And that is a beautiful thing. That is a manifestation of Pluto in Aquarius. And when you become a serious alchemist like myself, you start to kind of move energy at will. And then Spirit got to humble you a little so that you can remember that some things are out of your control. Right now, all the dates are palindromes. Okay? I want you to think about it. Okay, you got 5, right? 20, what's today? 27? Thank you for the gift, my love. 5, 27, 25. Meaning front to back, it's the same number. It's been there since we hit 520. For until the 29th, these are all portal days. Meaning you're manifesting whether you're recognizing it or not. So what are you manifesting? Are you manifesting positive energy with positive outcomes, or are you manifesting like subconscious thoughts that have been choking you out for the last 6 months? That's in the fight that you were in with the universe because there was something that was disrupting what you felt, was necessary in this timeline. And it's because you kind of been manifesting, ticking along, but there was an adjacent thing. And I had been saying that for a month, right? That there's an adjacent outcome, an adjacent energy, something that we can't see that is simultaneously, and what it was is an additional timeline, right? So we've already spoken about the fact that time is not linear. It is congruent, meaning that's happening all at the same time, right? So what you're feeling, right, when it's not happening in your physical reality, you're pulling that from one of your other timelines. Which timeline are you going to pull? Are you going to pull the negative one where you're like, woe is me? Because guess what you're going to bring into this timeline? Guess. Okay. Or are you going to pull the frequency of like unifying the best aspects of yourself for the outcome, which also means that the outcome that you desire already exists somewhere? Are you tapping into that frequency, or are you tapping into the frequency of lack? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay, I understand that it's been a long walk. So, of course, it's going to leave us to feel like we are battered, maybe bruised, like I'm tired, right? The energy, everything that's happening around us, it can be excessive, right? But you almost there. And Saturn in Aries is asking you, hey, everybody coming in, Saturn in Aries is asking you, are you disciplined enough? Thank you for the love and the gifts, my loves. Are you disciplined enough to do the work that needs to be done for the outcome that you desire? Are you showing up for that timeline, or you just, because manifestation without action, Aries, Saturn in Aries, manifestation without action is just a fucking wish. Gotta tell somebody. Manifestation without action, it's just a wish. Okay? No matter what they say. And then look at the bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords, because you betray your own wish, your own desire. Okay? So we're going to do the elements. You listen to your element, King Melly, and I promise you, you will get your answer. Okay? We're going to be moving pretty quickly today, Spirit. We're going to start with air signs. We are in Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gemini gang. Come through. All right. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, pull up. Well, you tired of some shit. Some shit feels played out to you. Could be a relationship, okay? Something that you're tired of, the friction, okay? Ebony and ivory live together in perfect, right? So there's something that's out of sync. Thank you, my love. Okay? 4 of baskets. 4 of wands crossed, 5 of sticks, 9 of coins, ace of coins. Let's get after it. Spirit, can you show me what it is that the air signs, you see how the cards were like stiff and they didn't want to go into each other? That is, and I was just talking about an interaction I had with an air sign this week who, strangely enough, was acting quite stubborn. Okay? Okay, so you could be fighting. What's good, Miss Lotus Wisdom? fighting to hold on to a version of something. Okay, 4 of baskets. Why is that here for my air signs, please? With judgment. You're over something. Look at your face. Okay? But it could be because you already know. Like, I already know what they want. I already know how this comes out. I already, okay? Queen of Cups, okay? Under there, there's some kind of emotion that you don't want to feel. Air signs. Mercury's in Gemini. So is Jupiter. Things are being, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So it's electric, right? But it also can be electric from what's happening in Aries, right? Because that would be a square for you. And you've got Neptune over there. You've got Saturn over there, right? So these are things that are making you, they're not at the exact degree, but it's making you already feel like, I'm about to get corrected, or I'm about to have to push up against this, or somebody's about to infringe on what I want or an outcome, right? So instead of trying to anchor in and how you hold on to your perspective, maybe before you make the judgment call, get a 360. Air signs, that's what you do. Get a 360. You got the 4 of sticks here. Spirit, why is this crossed here for my air signs? That's the peace and harmony. So when you're not feeling, 3 of cups, right? Now, for some of you, this could be a third party, but I don't think so. I feel like what this is the extra person is somebody's fucking ego. Look, 2 of cups at the bottom of the deck. Right? So there's like this third person sitting at the table. Male or female? Somebody's trying to express their masculine. She said for sure. Somebody's trying to express their masculine, and somebody is trying to impose their masculine. I want you to process what I just said, because it means that fundamentally it's out of balance because both parties are in their masculine. Okay? This is not a sex based on your this is not a reading based on your sex or your gender or who you like to get down with. We're talking about energy. And in this situation, there's 2 people in their masculine frequency for different reasons. You have the Father of Sticks here. Spirit, why is that? With the 2 of Pentacles. It would be easier. Oh, shit. Air signs. It would be fucking easier to balance out in the middle. You remember the seesaws we used to get on as kids? It would be easier to stand in the center of the seesaw and get some type of balance. Do you see it? And take action on a compromise. But hell no, we won't go because the Emperor is there. Somebody want to be the boss that pays the cost. And then the other person responds in the autonomy of themselves and be the boss that pays the cost. And that's the crash. The Alchemist. Now remember, for the overall energy, what's good, Tawanda? For the overall energy, we had that we couldn't fight the universe. Right? So you may want to get somebody to understand your perspective, but you could be missing something about 12th house energy, something that you're overlooking about your subconscious, and they could be doing the same thing. Right? And if we are alchemists and manifestors, then we don't fight the energy. You back, babe? We don't fight the energy. We are in air signs right now. Okay, and this reading will be also on the YouTube, so you could rewind and move around at will. Okay. The magician recognizes, instead of trying to impose and fight against the elements, because that's what an alchemist does. It uses the elements for a particular outcome. So rather than fighting the elemental frequencies, what an alchemist does is use those frequencies to their benefit for the outcome that they desire. In other words, you don't swim against the tide or against the current. You swim with it. Okay? So whatever hill my air signs are on, right? Are you using the energy in the appropriate way? And is someone else around you trying to impose some type of will? Okay. So you got the 9 of coins here for my air signs. It really is all about autonomy, about being independent, about having your own. All right. This could be something about work. You could be shifting away from having a boss because you fucking tired of that shit. Now, for some of you to be the boss, to pay the cost, you have to fall in line and use the ladder. Not to stay there for years and years, but to learn to play the parts. Okay? In other words, right, you go from the stock person to the manager to the owner, not go to the stock person to the owner, because you won't know how to manage that shit. Okay? So the 9 of cups, the 9 of pentacles, spirit. Here comes the rain again. Okay, so you got the 9 of pentacles comes out here. And what comes out to it? The 4 of swords. But there's something that prevents that independence, that autonomy, that freedom, that financial growth. And it has something to do with fucking healing. Healing what? The sun, the ego. Okay? Yours, theirs. Because sometimes when you're working in a team, right? That doesn't mean you necessarily have to give up your square, right? And when I say give up your square, you might not understand what I'm saying, right? I stand on my 10, I stand on my square, right? So you don't necessarily got to give up your square, but you can, but if there are people you love that you want to bring along with you on some energetic level, then it can't be just, straight out stiff arming people. Right? There's something here about detachment. Not detachment of people, but detachment of control. In other words, you don't have to cut everybody off that doesn't do things the way you think they should be done. But what you have to detach from is like control of that. Right? So you could have somebody that you fell out with that's coming back, and you could be saying, no, like I already did that. But there could be a part that you're missing. It's not about getting rid of everyone. It's about not allowing them to take away from your autonomy. Okay? Okay? So what comes out on the bottom of the deck is the 9 of Pentacles. That's the lesson. So while this person's showing their ass through their sense of control, your response to them is showing your ass because you like, what? So spirit is trying to remind you, like, great that you understand to, to shift, but we want you to learn how to do it in a way that forwards you and not takes away, okay? Not have you fighting the universe, okay? With the Ace of Coins, Spirit, why is that? With the Seven of Pentacles. Because if you were to do that, okay, you have the seed right now, okay? But if you were to do that, the Ace and the Seven will become the 8. That'll work. That'll work. That will lead to being able to collaborate with others, okay? Or it's going to be a lonely rise to the top, okay? That's what I'm getting. I feel like if you learn how to do this and learn how to stand on your 10 without, without having to leave, no one standing, right? Without you realizing, you'll reach the 10 of Pentacles. That's family, generational wealth, and legacy. Boom, right? So in other words, right? Because what will happen is if you run from this and learning how to alchemize this shit, it will happen within your family. What you're gonna do? You're gonna cut off everybody because they're disturbing your Zen. Okay, you have to find a way to be like, I said what I said, and yet not have to demolish everybody. Okay, air signs. Okay, you can stand on business without, detonating. All right, that's what I have for air signs. All right, so water signs. Okay, water signs is next. Spirit. Can you show me what is that the water signs need to know? Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, baby. Pull up. Listen. Water signs. Y'all about to get some pretty good energy. If y'all could hurry up and be still. Hurry up and be still. Hurry up and be still. I feel like the problem that the that the water signs have. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She put Cancer, Scorpio. Take these feelings. Okay. So what I was going to say is that you get triggered a lot. And what Spirit is saying is hurry up and be still, right? So in other words, you have to find a way to alchemize faster, to bring yourself back to zero, to centered, to empty, to nothingness, right? To the detachment. Okay. So when you're struggling and, somebody cuts you off and then you're like, that fucked up your day or your energy, right? That's already a problem. Water signs. Then you go to the next thing, right? You get back to your center, you go into work, the boss says some shit, now you off and running again, right? Okay, one of your kids does something sweet, it's touching you emotionally, it's a thing where you have to learn water signs to find your equilibrium faster. It's taking so long for you to process your emotions. Passive aggressiveness is not going to help you right now. Saturn in Aries is going to force you to be more efficient with your time, to put your feelings aside, right? Aries represents the self, and the self wants to take action based on how they feel. Saturn don't give a fuck about how you feel. Saturn is like, but this is what needs to be done. So how do you come in between the two? Okay, Spirit, can you show me what's good for my water signs? Hangman, stuck like Chuck. Spirit, can you show me? Needing a new perspective. King of Cups. Who we talking about? Okay. Water signs. All right. In the fields. Right. Lots of potential. Too much emotion. Wearing a mask. Here's the Emperor. Wanting to express the potential, but having emotional feelings that cause you to stay off kilter and unable to choose a direction because you're constantly like a tuning fork, reading and emitting, reading and emitting, reading and emitting, and therefore you're never feeling what you feel. Knight of Pentacles, which is leading you to take too long, where I started. Okay, let's go. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Spirit, what's going on here for these water signs and how can they assist themselves? 8 of Baskets, full of emotions. Every time something comes up, you want to leave something behind because you feel like it's no longer serving you, right? But I feel like those baskets are just running over. Thank you, Spirit. The analogy is this. You have 4 bowls outside. You keep cleaning the bowls and putting them outside to dry. It keeps raining. The bowls fill up. Rather than you turning the bowls over, you keep carrying them to a different location full of water, thinking maybe they'll dry over here. What you're not recognizing is that you're carrying these heavy ass bowls of water. The emotions are within you. They're not outside. Hangman. With the Mother of Sticks. It may have something to do with a feminine energy that has triggered you. For some of the masculines, you could be enamored with somebody that you felt betrayed you in some way, or that it is a feminine that is lacking so that you could be anchored. If that is the case, Spirit asks you to get in tune with your own feminine energy, because you cannot create the space for the feminine to come if you are not in tune with that feminine energy within yourself. What's good, Pata? Okay. And as you open yourself to that level of insight, they'll make room for that. Also, there's a disconnect between the type of, I'm talking to the men for a minute, or females who are interested in women. There's a disconnect between the type of feminine that you visually see and the type of feminine that you actually want. What's good, Afro Spiritual? Hey, hon. Bendiciones. Okay. So this is like you want the spiritual baddie, but in actuality, you're still chasing, like, you know, the party girl or whatever. You feel me? For the women, or those more in their feminine energy, this is about learning to attract and not chase. And I feel like you have done that in the past, but what's happening now is that something triggered you, is making you emotional. Okay. And then when it makes you emotional, you fall back into an old pattern of chasing. It's like it could be a reflection of a feminine that you were raised by. Okay. You got the King of Cups coming out diagonally. It's telling me that something's off about the energy. You want to deal with your problems by yourself. Okay. You feel like you'll be judged. You got the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Knives. Okay. But I feel like find someone that you can open up to about the things that you are feeling. Because how will you really for sure know? Okay, I feel like everyone needs a mirror every once in a while to check their reflection, if only to see the reaction of our reflection, both positively and negatively, meaning that somebody could tell you, nah, you're letting your thoughts get away from you. You're letting your negative side overrule you, right? Or you're not seeing enough potential in you. See, sometimes that can work in both ways. Okay, so Spirit is definitely talking about that. Okay, I feel like you water signs, you may be very concerned with the outcome of winning or achieving or of becoming the outcome, right? But somewhat running from the checklist of what needs to be done, because like the swing of emotion. So like you might get up in the morning and be like, I got these 8 things I gotta knock out today to be on task for this week. And then you get to 3 things and you're like, well, this shit happened, it fucked up my energy, fuck it, I'm just gonna, right? So now, and listen, Saturn in Aries, gonna be there almost 3 years. You will be tried on that, because it's about being disciplined against the whole impulsiveness that causes us to burn it down on our own. You know what I'm saying? So you putting all this work in, let's say for a particular outcome, you start a business, whatever, right? And then you have one pain in the ass customer that comes in and gets you acting out of pocket. And now, you've taken an action that could, upend all your work. So Saturn wants to teach you control, right? Controlled chaos. That's the next 53 years, gang. Whatever your bag is, whatever your sign is, that's the next 3 years, gang, for real. Okay? Learn to hurry up and be still, because the longer you sit in those emotions, the more you upend. The Emperor with the 6 of Cups, okay? This is like saying you have a vision of what an emperor should be, and it's based on something from your childhood, right? You need to be careful. Was that person as fair, as loving, or are you over romanticizing some shit? Thank you for the love, guys. Okay. You could be over romanticizing some shit, and now you're trying to fit into a cookie cutter gingerbread man cutout. And when you was in that shit, it wasn't all that any fucking way. So why be like that? Why not be more in yourself? But the only way to do that is to actually learn to, hurry up and be still, like to come back to your original feeling and stop, trying to, say, I don't feel that. I have to do it this way, but I can't do it this way because it's so fucking draining and I fucking can't take it. Okay, so that's what's happening. You're going back and forth, okay? And the Three of Swords, Spirit, and the Ace of Cups, okay? So the model of love, or the model of what you are basing this on, the model of what you think will get you there is not it, babes. It's deception. It's through a part of yourself that needs to be deprogrammed. Okay? Okay. I'm going to give you an example. And it's pretty obvious, okay? Everything that's happening here stateside is like out of the 40s. That shit don't belong in this timeline. They're going to try to force it. It's going to, we're going to go back and forth. It's causing anxiety. You see what it's causing the public, right? But it can't be brought back. You can't go back, okay? So modeling after something that is no longer there and really didn't work then. Deprogram your wounds so that you can make a forward path and not be taken off your square every time you get emotional, because it's affecting your decisions. Two of Wands. Let's see. Spirit, why is this Two of Wands here? Okay. Because with the Two of Wands, you keep trying to make the decisions, right? Father of Knives, okay? This is seeing the long vision, okay? But because you have not controlled your emotions, what he's the master of, the King of Swords, is detachment. Okay? But the emotions is what's rocking. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Right? And you keep finding yourself on the outside of the outcome that you want. And then what you do is, instead of fixing the problem or fixing why you keep trying to recreate something, instead you move to the other location. So instead of turning the bowls over to empty out the emotion, you carry it to a new spot. And that's what Spirit is saying. So some of yous could get a life coach, a spiritual advisor, maybe a session of therapy, even a rage room if you've never heard one, where you could just go and wild out, break some shit up in the room, right? But you need to get it out because it's causing you to be frozen or to take too long to get to where you're trying to go. All right. That's what I have from my water signs. Fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, pull up. You're welcome. Also, hit me up whenever, babe. You're welcome. Spirit, can you show me what it is that my fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, need to look at for the balance of May so they can get the best start up in June? Spirit, can you show me, please? What is it that my fire signs? You got the Five of Wands. Who you fighting? You got the Six of Pentacles. You've got the Five of Cups. Not everything got to be, yes, got to do that. Yep, absolutely, babe. The Five of Cups here. You got to think about what hills you want to stand on, fire signs. The Hermit. That's a lot of cards. We're going to do it fast. Okay. 8 of Cups. Okay. At the bottom of the deck. So, got the 5 of Wands. There's a conflict going on outside and inside. As above, so below. And it's a prison of your own making. It's also living in the mind. Don't be as reactionary, Spirit said. Okay, also based on your emotions, King of Cups. Okay, with the 6 of Pentacles here, why? The 5 of Baskets, which is coming next. So this also is like you could be becoming a little hot-blooded over what you think isn't fair. You need to hear out all the details. There's a difference between equality and equity. Learn the difference. Equality means everybody gets the same thing. Equity means everybody gets what they need. Some people's needs are less or more. Sometimes from our damaged self, we're basing what's fair on unfair structures that were very punishing to us. And that's why we're trying to impose them on others and we don't recognize it. Because why should they get a different treatment than we got? And that's, stinking thinking. Okay. And we may not do that on purpose, but we may be doing it subconsciously. And so there is a need to pull back, pull back, pull back. You got the World here with the 5 of Cups, okay? Because everybody loses when there's such a thing as watering the garden too much. Water is life and water is emotion, but if you flood it, it can cause death. Okay? I feel like what's happening right now for all the signs is we're looking at what we already started, what we've. What's good, Tammy? Hey, sis, I'm just doing the fire signs right now. We've looked at what we've begun, and now like there's a need to adjust that. Okay. The fire signs, y'all be burning shit down, right? Try to remember when something was equal but not fair. And the reason why it was equal but not fair is because it was equality, not equity. Again, I'm gonna repeat it. Equality is equal. Equity is what is needed. And so there was a point where you needed something more and you was given less because that was what was fair. That was what was equal. That was what was balanced. And so now there could be somebody around you that needs more. And you might resist from giving more because you feel like in your past, it wasn't like that. You get what you get because it's equal, right? But that leads to loneliness, Hermit, Spirit. And it takes us away from the star mission that the ancestors have taught us. They said if we did that, none of y'all motherfuckers would be here. Okay. We put ourselves in the fray, knowing what would be the outcome for the whole. Bam. And Saturn in Aries is going to test everybody, but especially my fire signs, making y'all recognize there's what you feel you want to do for your independence and your fiery self, and what you should be doing to comply with Saturn so that you can learn the lesson. And because Saturn rules time, or Saturn's going to put their foot in your ass. Right? Because that goes back to the overall card, right? You can't fight the universe. So if the plan is you supposed to go in this direction and you start walking in this direction, but somebody piss you off, and then you turn and you pivot and you start fighting over here and burning this shit down, now time, you're further away from where you were supposed to go. Right? So Saturn's going to forcibly teach all of us. All of us. King of Pentacles coming out crossed is the Ten of Wands. Okay? Because you know what the King of Pentacles does better than any of the other kings? Finishes. That's why he got the coin. He'll do the same shit every day, every day, every day, every day, till he hits fucking pay dirt. He will outlast all the other kings. Okay? 10 of sticks. 4 of sticks. Okay? Persistence pays off. If anybody could sway you with pissing you off or making you feel, we started talking about ego in the beginning of this reading. For those of you, you can always go back to YouTube and check out the general frequency I was talking about. But ego will fuck you up because it's supposed to be this way. Why is it supposed to be? Because that's the way we always did it. Well, who the fuck is we? High Priestess. Five of Wands. It doesn't matter who we is. That's what I said. But your intuition, the reason why you get mad at that question is because it hits you like, oh, my family, the way I was raised, which could be a false illusion. Maybe part of this season is breaking through that. Okay? So we're not doing personal questions today, babe, but I'm going to try to do them Thursday for a celebration of me making 15,000 on YouTube. On TikTok. So if you guys save and follow me, you can get a notification when that happens. Fire signs. This is an opportunity these next 3 years for you, Pluto and Aquarius, Devil, okay, to be able to overcome those inner demons, fears, and shadows that prevent you from getting where you want to go because you get sidetracked. So you're going to learn in these 3 years about time, about control, about stillness, about controlled chaos is the number one thing. When to use your fire and how. Okay? Because I feel like, what's good, official Venus? I feel like a lot of this here, you might think you're burning shit down, but then when the hose gets turned on you, okay, it's just like a flood and you get watered out and it just feels overwhelming and it's soggy and you're not getting to where you want to go. And it's self-deception and 3 of Swords and self-betrayal. Okay, because it's like every time you got to start over, and it's because of ego. Okay, the Fool, the Free Man. All right. So Spirit's wanting you to break free from these old patterns of responding aggressively, emotionally, or automatically, right? And be in control of your emotion, I promise. By the end of the 3 years, you'll be a master of detachment, and your turnover rate for what you are manifesting will happen much faster. Okay. That's what I have for my water signs. We're about to get into Earth. Gang, gang. Okay. Thursday, let's look for a celebration for the channel where I will come on and do questions. Okay. That was fire. Okay. Hey, Iris. All right. And if you missed your element, you can head over to YouTube. The page is by the same name. Okay. I'm not doing personals today, but I will do them on Thursday. Spirit, can you show me for my earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you listen to your element, you will get your answer. Spirit, can you show me? For my earth signs, you got the Queen of Pentacles right off top, babes. Spirit, can you show me? Can you show me for my earth signs? Eight of Swords, Page of Swords. You're overthinking something. You feel blocked from something. Three of Cups. Hey, Didi's Alchemy. Hi, babe. And Temperance. Fool at the bottom of the deck. With the Nine of Swords underneath that. So you feel an anxiety about a new beginning or about something that is impending. You may not necessarily know what that shit is. We're going to take a look. Spirit, why is the Queen of Pentacles here, Spirit? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here? Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for my earth signs? Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. With the Eight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, Spirit is saying something about your money. Maybe your money been funny. I feel like there's something here about thank you for sharing, my love. There's something here about your worth affecting your money. Spirit, can you show me? Four of Knives coming out cross. Okay. This is something about what you learned about what was the possibility of, you know, your financial security, or your some kind of worth, or what it could be possible to become. Let's say you're trying to open a business, but you were raised poor. What's good, Unicorn? Hey, Mimi. I'm not doing personal questions today, but Thursday I will. Okay, so look out for the notification for that. This feels like you could be the first person in your line trying to do something revolutionary. You know, let's say be a nurse, be a doctor, open a business, be a millionaire before you're 40. Whatever the case may be a better parent, own a home, fucking anything that earth signs would be related with. Stability, bringing in stability. But the Four of Knives cross, some kind of wound from your own past prevents that shit. Three of Swords. It's an old heartbreak that you may have experienced or witnessed. Because if you witness your parents in some heartbreaking shit, that also affects you, even if it wasn't aimed at you, right? So you got the Eight of Swords coming out here across. It's a prison of your own making with the Four of Coins, because you don't know when to give and when not to give. You don't know when to go and when to hold back, right? And that has to do with the toxicity from our childhood. I'm going to give you an example. Ladies, you're going to totally relate to this, okay? Nice guy, right? Wants to buy you a coffee every day, you know, opens doors for you, very polite, emotionally available, yeah. Then there's the handsome, you know, tall dude, tall, dark, handsome, glass of water, quench that thirst, baby girl, right? But it's visually appealing. It's visually appealing, but not what you need. I feel like there could be a generational curse, earth sign, in yourself or in your family in reference to being attracted to things that derail the purpose. I feel like now, because you may have realized that, right? But now you may feel like your radar is broken. Like, am I supposed to go now? Okay, no. That looks attractive, but it's probably not for me. So, okay, I'm gonna stop right here. Okay, maybe I should go now. Okay, no. Like, so your fucking discernment may be a little off because it's like you became aware. Wow, thank you, Spirit. And that's good work. Okay, so it's like you became aware of something that was plaguing you. You did some form of shadow work about something that was allowing something to slip through. Grand Rising, okay? Problem is, now that you recognize, like, oh, okay, so because when I was a kid, this and this, that's why I think that shit is normal, but really it's not fucking normal, right? So now you recognize that, but now you don't know what's the right thing or how to reflexively fix that. So put that with your money. If you recognized before, like, oh, I don't know how to deal with money because I was always poor. We were always poor. So now if money comes, I spend it like I'm fucking, like it's running out of style because I don't know what to do with it. You understand? I'm so spot on. Thank you. Right. So it's like once and earth signs is good for self-examination, right? We'll look in the fucking weeds. We ain't scared. Okay? But once we get the information, we're like, so now what the fuck? So now, how do because a lot of earth signs are retraining themselves right now. Uranus made us. Change to chaos. We see now what was broken from the past. The shit is, how do we move forward? Page of Swords. Good morning, Jennifer. That's the blockage, right? Well, shit, you mean I did that? I was standing in my own way all this time? Well, fuck. Woo, look at that. Look, Page of Swords, right? And the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So now we're blocking bad invitations and good invitations because we're like, I'm fucking going nowhere. I don't know which up is what's down. But right now, I'm just kind of checking out. So, okay. Right? head down, right? Just getting to the work. But I feel like now is when we have to start staying put, right? So we need to figure out how, how we interact with others and what invites are good and what events, right? Because if we close ourselves off from everything, then the golden ring that we wanted is going to pass us by, and it keeps passing me by, right? 3 of Cups. Wow, shit, that came out fast. Okay. 3 of Cups with the 3 of fucking Cups. With what? The 10 of Cups. We're about to meet somebody just like us. Or you have. And your tribe is helping you. And you could be learning to deprogram yourself slowly to detoxify from the devil. And you may have been doing this for some time. And now you're becoming super magnetic. So you haven't realized that you put in the work and that you can now tell and that you have this new discernment about what you will and won't accept and about what you don't want and all this shit, right? And now shit's starting to become super attractive to you. Everybody's coming your way. They see you as the Queen of Wands, very sexy, magnetic, with the Queen of Cups, very emotionally open. And they want to partner with you. But you got the 3 of Knives. Okay? And the 7 of Knives. So what Spirit is saying is, it's that lens that you took off of the past that had you looking through a veil that wasn't real. It's like you put it on yourself. So I look at that clearly, but now you're not looking at yourself clearly. What's good, soy mezclada, right? Because now you're seeing yourself as like dull or as like not as vibrant as the world sees you. They're so attracted to you right now. And it's because of the inner work, earth signs. Temperance card with the 3 of Sticks. You've done the work. Okay. The healing is actually starting to take root. Look at just what came out. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you got Temperance. It's divine timing. You've done the work, right? You're going in the same direction as the universe. Very important to what I said in the beginning of the reading. You can always go back to YouTube and listen to the general energy in the beginning about us fighting the universe. Okay, so it's like you are not swimming against the current anymore. You're going in the direction of the current. Okay, and that is allowing for healing. You were able to look and see what the truth of a situation is, and that allows you to go to the future. You're ready now. You're ready now, and now you are again the Queen of Wands, magnetic as fuck. It's your season. It's my turn to see what I can see. And Venus is about to go in. I don't know if it's the 4th or the 6th into Taurus. Okay, it's gonna be lighting up all my earth signs. All right, but you still like, is it safe? What the fuck do they want from me? They want the new evolved you. Do you feel comfortable enough in your skin to go outside? Okay. Do you feel confident enough in your own new version of yourself? Okay. Or do you feel like it's not real yet? Yeah, it's real, babes. You're different. You learned your self-worth. You took off some mask about what you thought was. It feels like new sensitive skin for right. Yes, it's like yes. Okay, it feels like new sensitive skin for real. And what was at the bottom of the deck? The Fool and the 2 of Cups. Well, baby, This is coming into alignment of new beginnings, new soul paths, new soul connections, relationships, and inner balance in ourselves. That will be the remnants of Uranus and Taurus, because it's getting ready to sashay and move on down the road. That was good work, Earth signs. It wasn't fucking easy these last, 7 years. But you did it. You survived it, and you are new. Okay? And this was a double whammy for my Earth signs. I'm just going to talk to y'all for a second, because we ended up finishing out the season of Pluto in Capricorn. That shit was almost a 20-year cycle, right? And then now we're also getting Uranus, and Taurus is leaving, right? So we did some heavy lifting, gang. Okay? We've done some heavy lifting, and, have fun in June. Don't be afraid to go outside. Don't be afraid to take that invite. You're attractive as hell right now, Earth signs. Okay? That's what I have for you guys. I just want to say thank you to all of you. I want to throw a little special event on Thursday for everybody, for all the love. I finally made it to 15,000 on TikTok. It wasn't easy. All of you, if you guys could please go follow me on YouTube, that would be great. Okay. And we'll do a little party. Thank you guys for always showing up and spending time with me. Okay, I'm wishing you all love and abundance, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I have to run to an appointment right now, but bye, guys. Bye. Thank you. Bye, guys.